So the pros and cons of living in Frisco, Texas. I am going to tell you all about it because in the last year, Frisco has changed a lot. And I believe that it's important to tell you the good and the bad. So that's what we're going to do. And like I said, I live here. If you followed any of my videos, you know that I have a unique perspective because I am so involved in the community and building a home here, selling and listing homes here. And so I want to paint a picture for you guys as best as I can. We'll give you the pros and cons so that you can really make a decision on whether or not this could be the area for you. I'm going to go over a little bit of stats before I jump into the pros and cons, just so you guys have an updated vision of where we are and what we're looking like. Frisco's had some pretty insane growth, and just right now it's 6.9% in 2024, and it's been consistent 5.4 over the last decade. And so I feel like we've got healthy infrastructure. So, and of course, we're going to get into a little bit of that with the pros and cons. There's a lot of talk on Frisco in the news. So first of all, over 100 suburbs in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and Frisco ranks third in that 100 list from 2024. We were voted 7 out of over 1,000 ISDs in the entire state of Texas. And Smart Asset actually ranked Frisco the #1 safest city to live in 2022. And so I think that's incredible. I feel very safe here. And I lived in downtown Dallas, and it was a very different feeling down there. 2018 and 2022, Frisco actually was Money Magazine's #1 best place to live in America. In 2021, Smart Asset again did a study to find the 10 happiest cities in America, and Frisco ranks #5. And it's not just happiest, but it's just overall quality of life. And again, #5 is a pretty big deal in the entire United States. So one of the largest moving companies in the world, Allied Van Lines, actually identified Frisco as one of the best places to raise a family in 2023. They ranked Frisco #2 in that top 25. So they looked at cost of living, unemployment, household income, crime, school systems, all of the things, and we got #5. So there's a multitude of studies done in 2020 that actually rated Frisco as one of the top 5 cities in resiliency of economy. And that's probably got a lot to do with how many Fortune 500 companies that are moving here to put their headquarters here. And so, okay, with that being said, let's start off on our pros. I'll leave the cons to the end because it's always fun to do the good stuff first. But obviously our #1 is our school district. I mean, you cannot beat Frisco's school district. And on greatschools.org, you can go there and look at all of the districts. We've got a 10 out of 10. And I think everybody in Frisco would agree with that. And we're actually #1 in Collin County. So here in Texas, you go from your suburb to your city to your county and then the state. So all of the cities are in different counties. And so Frisco split, you've got Collin County and you've got Denton County. And so Collin County rated us #1, and we got 15 out of over 1,000 districts, like I said. There really are some of the best schools in the country academically and athletically. We don't joke about our sports around here, especially in the whole state of Texas, but Frisco, takes it up a notch. And so sports is our next pro. Because we have the headquarters of America's favorite football team, the Dallas Cowboys, it's extremely sports focused. Not only do we have the Dallas Cowboys, but we also have our soccer team. And so you just get all kinds of great coaches in the area. You can literally get private lessons for anything. You name it. I was just talking to a golf pro today out in my community that works at the PGA, and he does private golf lessons. So we have the Texas Rangers, the Dallas Stars, the Dallas Mavericks, all nearby, the Frisco Rough Riders, which is our AA baseball team here in Frisco. And that's a really fun place because they actually have a pool that you can float in and watch the game, and people have a lot of fun doing that, and they drink and watch the game and just hang out at that pool, which I think is a unique experience. But if you have a child that plays in competitive sports, Frisco has so many opportunities. One thing that I think is really cool is that at the local high schools, they actually get to use the the Cowboys practice field. And so it was a kind of a school district and Jerry Jones partnership to go in on that. And so Frisco ISD ended up paying for a portion of it. And so they get to use it for their games. And that is a lot of fun. There are great baseball clubs, competitive gymnastics, competitive dance. You've got football. And of course, I just mentioned golf now that we have the new PGA. And that's fun. I just went out there on Saturday and ate at the Ice House. It's called the Ice House. There's one in Dallas called the Katy Trail Ice House. But this is called the Ice House. And you can literally get into a bay and eat and then swing golf balls and play games with an entire putting green. It's pretty fun. We had a lot of fun. Another pro is the shopping and the entertainment. Downtown Frisco has a lot of great boutiques and shopping. We've also got Stonebriar Mall and Legacy West, which is close. It's not actually in Frisco, but it's right on the border of Frisco and Plano. And then, of course, we've got Fields West that's coming. And that's why you guys need to go and watch my video on the Fields I built here in the Fields because of the equity run. We're not going to see this kind of equity for another 50 years. It's that big of a deal. It will be the epicenter of Frisco once it's done, but Fields West is going to be a mixed use. It's got 3 hotels. It's got the Ritz-Carlton. It's got Sephora. It's got a bunch of luxury shopping, but literally from Brookside, we'll be able to walk to Fields West, grab a coffee, go eat breakfast on a patio. There's a bunch of lakes and walking trails. You can even drive your golf cart over there. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But again, if you're interested in the Fields, let me know because I feel like I know everything there is to know about it now that I am in the Fields and I've built here. There are a couple of restaurants in downtown Frisco, that is, that have live music all the time and fire pits that you can go and drink wine around. And so it's a lot of fun. Another pro, I think, is proximity because you're far enough north that you feel like you're not in Dallas and the crime rate and the traffic and all of that. Frisco's about 30 minutes north of Dallas. I feel like I can leave here if I leave here by 4:30, I can get to Dallas in 30 minutes. If it's anywhere after 4:30, you're going to hit rush hour traffic and it's going to slow you down. But it's 25 minutes to the Dallas-Fort Worth airport and you can kind of get really anywhere fast. I would say it's 30 to 40 minutes to Love Field, which is our other airport. Another pro is weather. And I know that there are a couple of months that are super, super hot, but for the most part, our weather is very mild. And so it can be a pro or a con depending on what you personally like. I think it's a pro because I'll take 2 really, really hot months to have the whole year as pretty mild. It's not uncommon for us to have days in the mid 70s in December and even sometimes in January, but January and February are probably our coldest months. And then July and August, I call them the twins because they're terrible, but they're super, super hot. And you'll feel like you're melting, but just know that's it. Once July and August are over, September is a little bit warm, but it's not near as hot. So we start getting a lot better. But for the most part, we're going to have lots of sunshine. We have amazing falls and spring because it's just really great weather. And so I think you guys will enjoy it. That's why I count it as a pro. Another pro is community. Frisco, everybody's just really nice here. And so we've got so many fantastic and beautiful neighborhoods, and the people inside those neighborhoods are just amazing. And we do a lot of community events. And each subdivision, at least the master plan subdivisions, will have events. For example, here at the Fields, we have a lifestyle coordinator. And so she puts events on for us and then invites us all. And you can meet and greet, and your kids can meet each other, and the parents can meet each other. And it's a really nice. And then Frisco's got 25 miles of connected trails, and none of them go over major intersections. They go under. And so it's very safe, and you can go all over Frisco on these trails, biking, walking, jogging. You see a lot of kids on those motorized, those little moped thingies. We have a ton of trees, lots of foliage, so it's beautiful here. Now, the newer communities, you have to let them grow up a little bit, but the established communities, the trees are just beautiful. Now, a lot of the activities, 4th of July parties, Christmas, Halloween, festivals, it's really centered about bringing community together. And then, of course, we've got high school, Friday night lights for the football games, and just lots of things going on. And that would lead me to the next pro, which is hospitality and friendliness. I know I just mentioned it, but it really is a pro. If you live in an area that you're not used to your neighbor talking to you, and if that freaks you out, you may just have to stay in your house, because we are very friendly here. We were recognized as being super friendly. I mean, we made national news because of it. So again, let me remind you, out of over 1,000 communities in the state of Texas, Frisco was ranked number 7 in the best places to raise a family. And just kindness, and that all goes a long way. And I think it helps raise your kids in a better environment. And so that's why we do attract a lot of people here. Another pro is actually our economy. And this is a big one because we are thriving and healthy. And it's, the growth of Frisco just creates a really great career and job opportunity. So many businesses have moved their headquarters here to Frisco. And the median household income in Frisco has recently increased to about $144,000. As of 2024, and the national average is about $78,000 for household income. So the job market is a little bit higher. In regards to the economy, I do want to bring attention to the fields. I know that we talked about it, but it's going to bring a ton of jobs. And so it's just going to be really fun. And then, of course, the PGA brought a lot of jobs. Fields West, that mixed use development I just told you about, is going to bring a ton of jobs, and a lot right along with the Ritz-Carlton. The Preserve is also in the fields, and it's connected to my neighborhood, but it's going to be probably one of the most elite subdivisions in the nation. I mean, it's just an insane amount, but the average house there will be $25 million. They just sold one a couple of weeks ago, actually it was about a month ago, for $45 million, and they're not even built yet. So gated, guarded, it's going to be such high-end. Celebrities are already buying in there. So if you happen to be on this video and you want to live in a home of that magnitude, I know the builders and can help you interview those builders. They're all completely custom. So and the beauty of the Preserve, and it looks over the PGA, it's amazing. So if that's something you want, reach out, text me, or comment below, and I can give you all the information you need. We also have Universal Studios coming, which is great for the economy. We've got the new Omni Resort at the PGA, and that is stunning and great to go to dinner. Dude Perfect, I don't know if you know about those guys, but they're building a massive $100 million new entertainment park that is going to be, it's not confirmed, but the rumor is it's going to be here in Frisco. Another really great thing that has blown my mind is we just reduced our property taxes. Like, so many towns and cities around the nation are getting higher and higher because they're having to fix a bunch of stuff and it's just getting more expensive to live. We just lowered ours to 1.6%. It's like 1.69, but we're the lowest in the entire metroplex, which I think really helps out. And then I don't know if you guys know this, but Texas has a homestead exemption. So when you move into a house and it's your owner occupant, like it's your primary residence, you can file a homestead exemption, which gives you an additional discount on your property taxes. So you can't beat having the lowest property taxes and then on top of that, getting your homestead exemption. Another pro is the food here. We have so much different cuisine. I mean, I feel like you could just name a cuisine and we're going to have it. So if you want to see some of my favorite restaurants, you can go check out my Frisco vlog. I try to put it in each of the vlogs, but we've got all kinds of grocery stores as well, all ethnicities of grocery stores. So it makes it really easy to find what you're looking for. Another pro is our higher education. The University of North Texas is in Frisco, and they actually just passed that it's going to be a medical school. And this campus here in Frisco, after all is said and done and everything's built, is actually going to be bigger than the main campus in Denton. And we're going to have it's going to be a college, but it's also going to be a medical school. And then right north of it, they're opening up a hospital that's also going to be a teaching hospital. So we're going to have a whole medical district corridor over by the University of North Texas, Frisco. We also have SMU in Dallas, which is not far, Dallas Baptist University. Then we also have Texas Women's University and the University of Texas, Dallas. I told you I was going to get to some cons. So I'm going to tell you, Cost of living, that would be my first con. I know that the numbers I quoted to you a little bit earlier might have been a little shocking, the 144,000 median household income. But when compared to the rest of the country, it is a higher cost of living. But again, we tried to reduce that property tax in order to help offset that a bit. And the median home price in Frisco for this year is about 700,000. And if you compare that to the national average of 395,000, we are higher. But again, I feel like property taxes is helping that out a little bit, and we don't have a state income tax. Now, I did say weather was a pro. I'm going to say weather is a con when it comes to July and August. And I am not kidding. It is hot. And it's not just hot, it's humid. Not as humid as Houston. They're closer to the ocean, but it's bad. And I'm not going to sugarcoat that. You just have to know that you have to make it through July and August. But then the rest of the year is chef's kiss. So another con, and I hear a lot of people complaining about this, is traffic. Because our population grew so quickly. We grew from 7,000 people to 232 people in a very short amount of time. And our mayor is really smart in the fact that he did plan for the growth and the infrastructure. It's just we're having to do it along the way. So for example, right now, they're widening the highway. So sometimes I hit traffic where it's backed up because they have it down to 2 lanes. And I've never experienced that before. We typically don't have traffic on our highways. And so it's just something that's going to have to be done. And then we have roads that are being built. You can't even get all the way through some roads yet because we're still building roads. When you guys come out here, if you happen to fly out here and you want to meet with me and let me take you around and show you all the different areas, you still see a lot of farmland, but it's being developed. So yes, we have some traffic, but when all is said and done, it's really going to even itself out. Another con I feel is the busyness of Frisco. There's so much to do and there's so much family fun. There's so much extracurricular with the schools that sometimes it's hard just to slow down and enjoy your family because you're racing to get all your kids to all their different things. And so I would really encourage people to kind of, niche down and find out really what you want to be doing as a family and then schedule that out. But busy can definitely be a con. And the commute. I would say that the commute would be bad if you're working in Fort Worth or somewhere in Tarrant County, which is further down the highway. But if you are sticking to that North Dallas corridor, then you're going to be okay. If you are in Fort Worth, I would not think about living in Frisco. I just think you're looking at an hour non-traffic. So it'd be even further if you hit traffic. And then I know that I mentioned sports as a pro. I'm also going to mention it as a con because there are some things that I would look out for. We do have a lot of competition here. And so because it's so competitive, let's say your kid was like the star at their school. You need to prep them when they move here that they may not be the star. They may just be at the top with several other kids. And so, but it's going to take them up a notch because they're going to have, they say the 5 people around you are, the amount of money you're going to make or that your intelligence is all due to the 5 people that you hang out with the most. So here, when your kid gets here and they've been a star athlete somewhere else, they're going to be around more star athletes and it's going to just drive them up. But it is super competitive. And then the last thing I would say is construction. And I know I mentioned it just a minute ago, but it is a thing that you really need to be prepared for. It's not insane. I've lived here for a long time and it's not, I think the people that are mad about it are the ones that they lived here when there were 7,000 people in Frisco, but it's just an emerging city and it's going to get better. But just keep that in mind as you're driving down the road and there's construction. It doesn't ever take me very long to get anywhere in Frisco. So it's not a super con, but I do want to mention it so you're prepared for it when you do get here. So anyway, that kind of wraps up the pros and cons for Frisco. I hope that you guys enjoyed this because I feel like you do need to know what's going on and the good and the bad. So if you have questions, text me. I always respond. And thank you so much for tuning in. And until the next video, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.